Alright, what's going on guys? So today I have my 1999 Honda Civic Coupe EK Civic behind me. Some of you guys who have been watching my videos, you guys also know besides my 2015 Lancer GT, I have my 99 EK Civic. So she's my daily driver for now, but I'm gonna do some maintenance work to her. So it's been a while since I showed you guys the EK, but since the last time I actually picked up some new wheels for it. I've been wanting these wheels for quite a long time. So these are some Enki RPF1 wheels. I really love them personally, and these wheels I think is perfect for like autocross the track. They look pretty nice too as show wheels. So the reason why I got them was because my old tire, I guess I came home one fine day and one of my old tires actually, they caught a nail, and I tried to replace the tire. Well, I tried to patch it up first at the shop, and they told me that they couldn't do it because my tire thread was pretty low. So that means I would have to swap out both my rear tires for new tires. So I was kind of like, I guess I had this wheel set up for over a year now, almost 2 years. So maybe it's the time for me to change out to a new set of wheels. So I was just shopping and looking online, and this guy was willing to trade. And then, I had to add a couple $100 on top. But like I said, I've always wanted these RPF1 wheels, and I think it looks really good on my Civic. It's black and red. My interior is black and red. Everything in my Civic is black and red. But you guys are not here to see my new wheels. You guys are here to see the restoration of my headlights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys what I have, and then let's get to it. Before I start, let me just show you guys the condition of the headlights. They're not horrible. These are blackout housing headlights that I got about 2 years ago. But as you can tell, from far it looks good, but up close you can tell it's a little hazy. Over time there's just oxidation on the car. So same with this side, you can see it's a little oxidized. So I'm going to show you guys what I have in my little bag here. I got most of these stuff from Lowe's. You can get it from your local Home Depot or Lowe's. So what I have here, just a spray bottle just with water, microfiber towel, and then the main thing you're going to use is sandpaper. And I know there's many different ways how you could restore your headlights. I've tried headlight restoration kit, I've tried the toothpaste method. Some people say you can use like a bug spray as well. But all those methods are pretty temporary. They only last for maybe a couple months, half a year. And what I'm trying to do is fix it pretty much permanently. So it should last for a couple years. So the method I'm going to use is the sandpaper method. Actually sand it down. So I have 3 different grades of sandpaper. So the first one is 400 grit sandpaper, which is the roughest. That's what we're going to start with. And then we have 600 grit sandpaper. And then the last one, we have 2000 grit sandpaper, so that's super fine. And besides the sandpaper, I also have the I guess the brand is Rust-Oleum. You can use any brand, but basically what this is a clear coat. So what I'm going to do with the sandpaper is basically strip off the remaining clear coat on the headlights, get it really clean, and then I'm going to spray over a new layer of clear coat on the headlights. So make sure whenever you find this clear coat, make sure it says non-yellowing. That's the important part, because you don't want it to have like a yellow tint to it. So yeah, sandpaper, clear coat, and then also have some paper towels in case it gets too wet, and some trash bag and painter's tape just to mask it. Whenever I spray the clear coat, I want to make sure that I'm not spraying on the paint as well. So that's the last step. Alright guys, so I have my 400 grit sandpaper, and like I was saying, what you really want to do is you want to make sure that this surface is always wet on the headlights. You don't want it to be dry just because your sandpaper is really rough. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and spray it down first. So just with water, just keep it wet. It's nice and wet. And then I'm just gonna sand it down. You can use circle motions for first. once I've went through all my circular motions, as you guys can tell, whenever I was sanding it down, I was spraying the water continuously because I don't want it to get dry and rough. So what I'm gonna do now is, now that I've done it, there's a lot of like yellow oxidation that's falling off. I'm gonna keep spraying, but this time I'm gonna do it like in a horizontal line, and that's how I'm gonna sand it with the 400 grit sandpaper. Alright, so once I'm done with the 400 grit sandpaper, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray it down again, and now I'm gonna wipe it down with a paper towel. As you guys can tell, it's really cloudy right now. It's supposed to be like that. So what I'm gonna do next is use my 600 grit sandpaper. Alright, and what we're gonna use now is 2000 grit sandpaper. So this is the finest of all of them. So you're gonna do the exact same steps, spray it down and kind of buff it out. Now that it's done, you can see it's much clearer and it's supposed to feel much more smooth. That's what the sandpaper does, it just cuts through the clear coat. It's supposed to feel much more smooth. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna spray it down a little more, keep it wet, and then I'm just gonna wipe it dry, and then I'm gonna start masking it up for the clear coat. So now that I finished masking the car, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna make it wet again and sand it down with the 2000 grit one more time before I spray the clear coat. So I really want to get it all clean because my hands, got a little dirty when I was putting the trash bag. So just do one last time. Do before you spray the clear coat on is you want to make sure that it's really dry, 100% dry. So right now it's still a little wet, so I'm going to let it dry out, and then I'm just going to spray coats of clear coat. So with the clear coat, I'm going to spray about 3 coats. You want to have it really, really light coats. You don't want it too heavy because you don't want it to be runny and just drip. So yeah, just 3 light coats, and then once we're done, the first coat might look a little like orange peel, so basically it's gonna have a little bit of spots, but that's fine. With the 3 coats, once all 3 coats are done, it kind of overlaps and cover each other, and it should look pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna let it dry out, and then I'm gonna spray my 3 coats of clear coat. Alright, so my headlights pretty much dried up already, and right now I'm just gonna shake the clear coat and spray on 3 coats. So like I said, the first coat is gonna be a light coat. So that's the first coat. You kind of want to have it a little further away, so about a feet away or so. So I'll just let it dry, and once it's completely dry, I would say about 5 minutes or so it should dry, and then I'll go on for my second coat and then my third coat. My first coat is looking pretty dry, so I'm not sure if you guys can see, but what I mean by it's a little grainy, as you can tell over there. It looks like there's kind of like spots. It's not really even coats, but that will go away after the third layer of clear coat. So right now, first coat looks pretty good. So I'm gonna continue spraying on my second and then my third coats.
I am sad and so low.
It's coat number 2. Alright, so wait another 5 minutes. Second coat is pretty much pretty dry, and I'm gonna go for my last and final third coat of clear coat on the headlights. So at this stage I already done 3 coats of clear coat. For it to cure 100%, I'm gonna leave it overnight, so I'm just gonna leave it the way it is, and then tomorrow I'll check back on it and show you guys. So this is day number 2. I waited overnight for my headlights to dry. So the clear coat on it looks pretty good right now. So it's all dried up. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna quickly wet sand it down again with a 2000 grit sandpaper. So I got my 2000 grit sandpaper here, and then since it's wet sanding, I got a spray bottle of water. Just gonna wet sand it down just one more time, and then once that is done, I'm gonna dry it up, and I'm gonna use some wax and just, you know, kind of protect the headlights. You know, since we did a clear coat, it's just like paint. You can use any carbonara wax or any kind of wax to give it like a nice layer. So let me show you guys. Okay, so let me go ahead and wet sand this side first. So as you can tell, once I'm done wet sanding it down with 2000 grit sandpaper, I just use a microfiber towel, just you know, kind of wipe it down. And then right now I'm just going to use my wax. Like I said, it doesn't matter any carbonara wax. In this case, what I found was my Maguire's, so I'm just going to use it. And took care of both sides. So let me just show you guys. So this is the finished product. I think it looks really good. Both sides are done. The headlights just look like brand new again. And let's go on from far. And like I said, this method should be a permanent method and should last for a few years. So yeah, if you guys like these kind of videos, give it a thumbs up. And also, like I said, my EK Civic hasn't really been on the channel that much since I haven't had more modifications on it. So if you guys like to see my EK Civic more on the channel as well, let me know in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys in the next video.